What up, YouTube, friends, and probably future Ryan, and welcome to another Hot Cup of Clark. I don't know what it is about these glasses, but they are super reflective, and you can probably totally see, me recording myself, and also see, the music I'm listening to. Hold on, let me just, can you... Yeah, there we go. I can see myself, and then you can see over here, my little music player. Yep, there. I use Music Bee because it gives me, these big old images of, what I'm listening to, and, gives me the lyrics and all that kind of cool stuff. Super awesome for having tons and tons of music like I do. That's my little plug for Music Bee today. But I guess today we're going to be talking about two of my favorite things. Music and food, and I guess food and drink in one category. But yeah, that's mostly what we're going to be talking about today. But on other notes, stepping back from last episode, I completed my list of New Year's resolutions, and it's a lot more doable than my list from last year. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. 2018 is going to be the year Ryan Clark maybe gets his life together, but it's going to definitely look like it because there's a very low bar on some of these resolutions. But I guess kind of jumping into it, I stopped by the library, I think yesterday, and picked up a whole new big batch of music, 9 more albums for me to jam out to. And I found out it's not going to be my last visit because I was really worried, is this going to be the last chance for me to go to the library? I'm here in San Antonio for another 7 days. That gives me enough time to listen to all these, then also run back to the library and grab maybe 4 more albums to kind of soak in before I go out into the desert that is Lubbock. But I guess I'll go ahead and just kick it off and just start going through some of these albums. So the first one on my pile right here is the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack for the first movie. They have the second one, but it's on hold by 12 people. Or no, they have 12 copies of it. It's just being held by 100 people. But I don't know. It's it's a really good soundtrack. So I have this soundtrack, a bunch of Wes Anderson and Quentin Tarantino soundtracks, just because in those movies the music almost acts as a character. So I put those all in this just one giant jumbo playlist. There's another handful of movies that I also think have great soundtracks I also have, but those two directors and the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks are all golden, and I'm always sure to grab one of those. Got another Beach House album, Depression Cherry, mostly for the fact it has Space Song on it, and that's just the one single on here that I'm just yes, the song. I'll blast it in my room, turn on some mood lighting. I guess purple lights would be appropriate for that or whatever. And mostly for that song, but Beach House, I can always easily throw that onto a playlist. The playlist I always put them on is always end up being named Pool Vibes, or something like Pink Waters, or something that has that aesthetic of I don't know how to even describe it, vibes. Picked up the Chromatics Kill for Love. I don't know why. It was one of those mystery albums I picked up. Also, the next one's going to be one of those other albums. I recognize them because they are on the soundtrack for Drive, and I figure, why not? I'll give it a chance. I've seen it on, a couple lists from a couple years ago saying, this was a pretty solid album. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a listen to, and it's going to probably be, it's gonna be good. It's not a bad album, but I still haven't had a chance to listen to that one. And the other mystery album I grabbed was Foxing, Dealer. I think I've heard of them, so I have no clue. I haven't listened to this one yet. That's kind of why, the Chromatics and Foxing are, yes, I've heard about them, and I haven't listened to them yet. Those are on the to-do list of listening, but I have I'm pumped to listen to it. It's just I haven't gotten around to it. And then the rest of them are all ones I've been yes, I need this album, been irking for it. Blood Orange, Freetown Sound, and I've been listening to a lot of Blood Orange and I guess Beach House this whole break, and I've just been grooving to it the whole time. I haven't listened to this one yet, but the other two Blood Orange albums I grabbed earlier, both awesome, baller status, all that good stuff. So I have high hopes for this one. Next is Power Plant by Girlpool. I went ahead and give this one a listen to. It's not as like catchy as like their other albums, I guess. It's a decent album per se. Like it's solid, but none of the songs really like stick out to me yet. So I'm just gonna kind of throw this on the back burner every so often, and like hopefully something like comes out to me. But for now, it's a solid album. It's just like, I don't know. There's no like songs that bounce off to me. Next, Teens of Denial by Car Seat Headrest. Awesome album. I like listen to the singles they have available for free, and I finally grabbed the album, and it's awesome. It delivers. I love Car Seat Headrest. Cosmic Hero is like one of my favorite songs on there. That's actually the reason I like tried hunting it down so hard, because I wanted that song in particular, and it wasn't like available on their Bandcamp at all, and I was just kind of like, oh man, like I need to get the hold of that. And my friend has like the whole like vinyl of it and just like all these like bonus stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. But it's super solid album. I love it. It makes me want to like fight. I don't know why it makes me want to fight. It just does. It just gets me pumped like that. Up next is Ivy Trip by Waxahachie. I saw her live, I think last year or a year before, and I didn't know she actually came out with this album because she played a couple songs. I was like, I've never heard this song before. What is this? And it was La Luz by her on this album that she played, and I was just like, this song is so different from everything else, because I'm used to songs like Swan Dive and Brother Brian that are so like chill and like kind of slow and everything, and La Luz is like the opposite of that. And that's kind of like, I really dig the vibes of that song. Like, it's not necessarily like the reason I would like listen to her, but like that song in particular is pretty great. So like, everything else aside, like let's just listen to that song, and that's kind of the reason I grabbed that album. And last is Puberty 2 by Mitski. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but My Body's Made of Crushed Little Stars is awesome on here. Happy, just all the songs on here are pretty great. Your Best American Girl, My Body's Made of Crushed Little Stars, and My Best American Girl are like definitely my two favorite songs off this album. If you haven't listened to any of her stuff yet, go listen to it, because she's awesome and all that music is great. And that's about it for the library haul, but like, don't worry, I'm not worrying. It's not going to be my last one. I'm still getting the album by the Avalanches. They don't have anything by Architecture and Helsinki, which is, I was really looking forward to getting some of that, but San Antonio's library system doesn't have anything by it. But luckily, Austin's library system does. So in a couple months when I'm there, and I'm like a resident or whatever, I can go get one of their library cards and then be opened up to this whole new world of music, because who would have expected Austin's library, like one of the music capitals of America, to have a lot more music than San Antonio's? But so I'm not worried too much about like music I can't get now, because in a couple months I'm gonna have access to a lot more, I guess. But it's just kind of like, I need like a good chunk of amount to make some dope playlists while I'm in Lubbock. Like, I'm like building up my piles, so in a couple weeks I can like move it into these nice little stacks of like, okay, we'll listen to these ones together, these ones together, and these ones together. Like, the music player I use now, it uses like Last.fm to like recognize like, oh, these artists are similar, let's kind of play these ones together. It's like something called Auto DJ, which I guess is kind of like iTunes Genius, if that's still a thing. I remember I used that like years and years ago, but it kind of like makes playlists for me based off how similar artists are and how similar their songs are. And it's a super awesome feature, because it makes my life easier, instead of just like, I need to drag all these artists together because I want to listen to all their music, but I don't want to like nitpick or whatever. Like, it auto generates awesome playlists. I mean, they're not awesome, it's just like they leave out a lot of stuff because they have to like, oh, I want this much similarity, don't include these artists, blah 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 blah. And it's a pretty dope algorithm. However, there are these problems where I have to like whatever. I need to go make my own playlist because I want all these singles from like these weird compilation albums and whatnot. It does a good job of grabbing some of them, but then it ends up like playing them a lot and a lot and a lot. But anyway, those are the new musics I grabbed, and a little bit about like I guess like what I listen to my music on. But other than that, I made 3 pizzas today. Not like huge whole pizzas, but like tiny baby pizzas. And that's cooking with Ryan. You just put them in the oven. I tried making a margarita pizza, a mushroom pizza, and my favorite pizza is definitely potato pizza. So you like take potatoes and onions and just put it on a pizza. It's that easy. That's what I thought, and that's what I did, and it turned out okay, I guess. You have to like boil the potatoes more than what I did because mine were kind of crunchy still, and that was no bueno. But like live and learn. My margarita pizza came out okay, and you can't mess up mushroom pizza. So aside from that, tiny pizzas, pretty dope. If you haven't had potato pizza, go stick some potato on a pizza because it's eye-opening. I guess like another way I've seen it is just people put hash browns on pizza, and then that's what they call potato pizza. And like, I still like, I feel it. That's still good pizza. Like, it's like it's a frontier that needs to be like explored more. Like, French fries are good, pizza's great. Combine them together, their souls and essence and whatnot. Like breakfast pizza is also awesome, and I don't think enough people appreciate it or know about it. But like, pizza rant over. Going back to music. Free week's coming up at a venue downtown in San Antonio. Free week actually only being like 3 days of free music, but it starts tomorrow. I'm definitely stopping by that, just because like free music. I haven't seen any concerts yet. Like I didn't go to the Neon Indian show like one tier. I didn't feel like paying $30 for like seeing him, and then like 2 opening acts. I had no clue who they were, so I was like, I'll save this $30 for food later or something like that. It's a food concert. I don't know. It would have been a really, really cool show, and I am bummed out that I missed it. But like, I was like a lot more sick back then, and also I was like, oh, I don't want to drive downtown and pay $30 and get my shoes stepped on. But free week's gonna be a lot better. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Like, stuff starts around like 6 or 7, and it's like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I'll probably only end up going like 1 or 2 days, but still like getting that experience in. I haven't been to a concert in a while, so it's gonna feel great to finally like kind of be there. A couple local bands are playing, so hopefully I'm just like, I've heard you guys before, and you're awesome. Now I can like write down your name this time and kind of memorize your stuff or buy some of your merch. But the 3rd day of free week, there's also a coffee festival going on downtown, and that's something else I'm super looking forward to. And that's something like my brother will actually do. He's like afraid of like sounds or something, so he'll never go with me to a concert, but I can probably drag him along to this coffee festival, and I'm kind of like, I'm pumped for it, like getting all jacked up on caffeine and whatnot. Like, I don't even really know what it is. I'm just assuming it's like booth after booth after booth of people with like, here, try our coffee. It's like Tivana or whatever. Like, I go to Tivana just for the free samples, and then I get out of there. And I just assume like this is gonna be like, you pay $7 at the door and then try all the coffee samples you want. And I'm just like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Coffee all kind of tastes the same, but it's all awesome. But yeah, so things I'm gonna hopefully be doing in the next couple of days is going to Free Week at the Paper Tiger and hitting up that coffee festival, and then basically after that, back to Lubbock. I threw out some clothes today because like I realized I keep around a bunch of clothes that have like holes in it, and I'm just like trying to gather the rest of my life together before I have to like pack up and get ready to go back to school and work and all that kind of stuff. But like, man, I feel like I haven't taken my break easy enough yet, or like I haven't. That's all I do is nap, but like I feel like I have to do more than nap, like super nap. You feel? But that's about it for today's episode. You know, music, food, music, more food. Margarita pizza is awesome. If you don't know what it is, it's like basil and tomato and cheese. I don't know. Not Cheez-Its, just cheese on it. But one of my favorite pizzas, not appreciated enough, I feel like. It's like cheese pizza, but good. Not saying cheese pizza's bad at all, it's just gooder cheese pizza. So, like always, go ahead and hit that like button down there because these videos are pretty great. I'm trying. You can even see me making the video right now by staring into my eyes or whatnot. Also, feel free to leave a comment. Be like, yeah, those albums are awesome. Because you like that one, you should like this album. Or like, thanks for telling me what a margarita pizza is. My eyes have been opened. Or like, oh, I want to go to Free Week or Coffee Fest because I watched this video within that event happening or whatever. And like, if you love hearing me ramble on for like 15 minutes at a time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and always keep up with whatever the hot cup of Clark is hot cupping at the moment. And as always, thanks for stopping by.